people, how's it going? Jenny,
KB here.
And today we are going to be talking about Vi ditching Caitlyn and in general Vi's character. To be honest with you, I don't really understand her character as much as she does over here for a couple reasons. I think the first reason being that I'm a younger sibling. So
That's
I'm
true.
used to being the one that gets babied, not the one who is taking care of other people like that. And then the second reason being that I tend to, in a different way, like baby people. Like, I wouldn't ditch someone, really. Yeah, under like very, very slim circumstances would I ditch someone, and I can't think of, and especially someone that I'm just like spending time with and hanging out with. Yeah, so that's why I just, there are things that Vi did that I just don't understand at all. And then when I talk to you about it, and you're like, oh, it's because of this. I was like, really? Really?
Really though.
Yeah, so let's start. Let's dive in to talking about Vi ditching Caitlyn. So the first time that I watched the show, nowhere from the beginning of Act 1 to the end of Act 3 did I have any smidgen of a clue or understanding that Caitlyn was ditched by Vi at the brothel. I thought,
Really?
yeah. Like, I thought that after Vi had a conversation with the owner, or the madam, that she had just gone on to take care of business and would have come back for Caitlyn. Just like, oh, she's just kind of seeing this through, and she sees Caitlyn on the way out, especially because you can tell that she's like interested when she sees what Caitlyn's doing. So I'm just like, why on earth would Vi be ditching her when she just saw her looking real hot and flirting with a cute lady? Yeah, it never crossed my mind. And then the other hint that I later found out is given off is when Vi is in her kind of dazed mode before she gets the potion to heal herself after the Savika fight, when she says, I think it was either I'm sorry I left you or I shouldn't have left you. I shouldn't have left you. And I honestly thought that she was just delirious and talking about powder. I didn't think that she was actually saying or had any reason to say that to Caitlyn. And Caitlyn does respond and say that, just like, oh, in spite of it all, that's okay, in spite of it all, I can tell that you have a good heart.
Yeah.
But I just, I thought that she was just like kind of, oh, whatever it is you're saying, like, I'm gonna comfort you, it's okay. So I literally I had no idea. And it wasn't until we watched those videos by the therapist that reviews Arcane, Georgia Dow, that she says Vi tries to shake Caitlyn off. And I was like, what? She did? It's like, when did that happen? That was a thing? And when I said something to you, you were like, yeah, I could tell. So I'd love to hear your insight. And it's been interesting because you're like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And you knew before she even left. So when was it that you kind of got tipped off that she was about to
Him.
ditch her?
Because we're going back to when you say she's giving her what she wants, right? So essentially, she's like, here's something that Caitlyn can distract herself with, possibly get information. Who knows? Matilda may not get this done or not. Then she goes and gets the information. As soon as that happens, I'm like, oh, that's it. Vi's leaving her here. She's done with her. She's gonna go ahead. And even when we had the scene where she was like, oh, I have peace for the eyes, she's still like, listen, I've got my own stuff to do. You're gonna do whatever you gotta do. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
That she was leaving her.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, I I have definitely ditched people, especially when I was younger and a little punk. I even ditched someone that I was interested in, which probably wasn't a great thing to do when you like someone, but whatever. You know.
That's so surprising to me. I feel like, especially if I like someone, I'll be like, oh, I'll never leave you. Like, I'm that kind of person. And I think I've always been kind of an old soul that way.
Yeah.
And I really value a sense of loyalty. So I think it takes, like, someone like me who holds that mindset of being really loyal to the people that you're around. Which, I mean, I guess I didn't have a reason to be loyal to Caitlyn, but I just feel like, I don't know, I have some level of loyalty to everyone.
If you think about it, Vi said, I can help you from not behind here. Mm-hmm. There was no contract, verbal or signed, that she was going to completely show Caitlyn everything in the city. Mm-hmm. She's going to get to her objective, and then Vi, as Vi does her own thing. Yeah. You know, and for me, like, leaving people, I mean, you know, sometimes you just need to get away from them because they're doing stuff you're just kind of like, what are you even doing right now? Or, in my case, I was just a little punk, so I can definitely relate.
What made you want to ditch someone when you were hanging out with them?
Well, first of all, I'm not girly by any stretch of the means, and a lot of the girls I kind of hung out with when I was younger were super girly, and they would want to go into, like, certain stores, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm good, or want to talk about things, and I'm like, okay, you know, or, how do you talk to guys? I'm like, you just walk up to them and say hello, like, what do you mean?
Yeah, so basically, you weren't interested in what it was they wanted to engage in.
Not in the slightest.
So I guess if you compare that to this, like, Caitlyn wasn't interested, Vi wasn't interested in questioning people like Caitlyn was. Yeah. She wanted to, like, get in there like she does with her fists first, rather than spend her time questioning people with an enforcer.
I mean, and she did get some information, you know, from the madam of the brothel, so, you know, and then after that, she's like, I'm just gonna go like this now. Yeah. She wouldn't probably have the patience to question anybody. I mean, come on now. She'd rather just...
That's true.
Then maybe interrogate them.
She cut right to the chase instead of trying to interrogate people in the brothel.
Yeah.
She went right to the madam of the brothel. She's like, I'm going right to the source. So, she was trying to get things done quickly. And I think that she probably, to that point, could see Caitlyn as something that she kind of just has to tolerate.
Yeah, at that point, she's just tolerating her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's helping her to a certain extent, and then she's just like, all right, now it's time for me to do my own thing. Mm-hmm. You know, because I'm going to get what I want, and I don't think you have what it takes to be able to do what I need you to do.
Yeah.
You know.
So let's take a look at what Amanda Overton says. So there's this tweet from Amanda Overton where she says, from a cutscene, the woman says, I have to say, it's always nice to meet another curious woman. Ooh, some flirting. She means hot. She's laying it on. Caitlyn's got her primed for secret spilling. But she just now notices Vi's gone. Shit. Caitlyn leaves a disappointed woman in her wake. Goddess of the hunt, and there's those pictures of her with this really beautiful, scantily clad lady.
Yeah.
So, first of all, Vi had been gone this whole time. Vi left right after she tried to pawn her off on Pim.
Yeah, she did. She's just like, here's something shiny.
That's why I'm kind of, even then, I'm kind of like, how did she notice Vi was gone? How does she know? Does she know that Vi isn't in another room with someone else? And that's why even then, I might not have picked up, oh, Vi left Caitlyn. Mm-hmm. But I, again, because I don't ditch people, it wouldn't have come to my mind, oh, she's trying to ditch her. Even though I have been ditched, actually.
Oh, that's terrible. Well, if it makes you feel better, I would never ditch you.
Oh, well, that's good.
But the thing about Vi is that, she just, at this point, she doesn't like enforcers.
Yeah.
She just needs to get this enforcer away from her.
Yeah.
Because maybe she's afraid, maybe she'll try to arrest... You don't know what she's thinking, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe if they added the scene It would have been interesting for sure.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen it actually, because Caitlyn's just kind of like so proper and you rarely hear her curse.
Yeah.
So this would have been kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I
think it would have at least been an extra thing to cue me in into what was going on, because clearly I was just so oblivious. Yeah. So let's hop on to the next thing that we wanted to talk about the next time that that Caitlyn gets ditched by Vi. So the next thing that we want to talk about was the breakup scene, because this is another instance where Vi goes to ditch Caitlyn, and like I feel like when Vi went to leave Caitlyn at the bridge, it was very clear, oh, she's leaving her for her sister. Mm-hmm. But when she goes to leave Caitlyn after the meeting with the counselors, I was like, why is she just being such an asshole? Like, I didn't understand at all, and I was really upset at Vi. That's why I remember I said in another video, like, she shouldn't be allowed to talk if she's gonna say things like that. Like, all I was upset, and I didn't really understand Vi's motives at all, which upset me even further, and I felt really bad for Caitlyn. I was like, why is she being like this? I felt like she was overreacting. Yeah!
Okay.
Because she had started to build a really deep connection with Caitlyn.
It's true.
And then she's just like, I'm gonna just say these really hurtful things and leave. And I didn't really understand at all why she would do something like that. But then, when I talked to you about it, you said to me that she was trying to protect her.
Yeah, she was.
And after you said that, it shifted something in my mind. And I really started to think about it differently. I was like, oh, she's trying to protect her. And then you realize that she goes straight into battle after that conversation. So, and if you think about it, she did the same exact thing with Powder when they were younger, where she left Powder behind, saying hurtful things to try and protect her. And I had no idea. And you also, being an older sibling, would understand that better than I would. As a little sibling, you're just maybe a little more clingy. And you're like, don't leave me. And like your older sibling, you almost think that they know everything. And you just want to adore them and be around them a lot. And so I didn't really understand. But yeah, you have definitely more insight about that whole scene, first of all, and then also being kind of an older sibling who thinks that way.
And the thing, too, is that with Powder, she at least, like, told her, hey, I can't lose you, right? So while it was hurtful, it wasn't, and then probably because maybe they're sisters, but with Caitlyn, it was just like, just rip it off like a Band-Aid, you know? Yeah. So I can kind of understand why you're frustrated, but to me, I'm just like, she's trying to push her away. She's trying to protect her by doing this. This is a very Vi thing to do. Caitlyn's like, I'm willing to work through anything with this with you, and Vi's just like, no, I don't want you to get hurt. Because she feels responsible.
Yeah, that's true. And then any other insight about being an older sibling?
Your older sibling and your younger sibling is, you don't want to usually put them in harm's way. You do want to protect them. You know, even my sister, she's only a couple of years younger than me, but like if her fiance did something that wasn't cool to her, I'd be like, yo bro, want to come at me?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like that protectiveness. But, you know.
And my older sister's
your
like that with me
though.
To everyone, even to her. She'll be like, she's like, I'm the moat. You have to go through me.
The first thing she said to me.
You have to go through me to get to my sister. But I can see how, like, if that's what gets into your mind and how you associate with people that you're close to, then that's how you learn, like, that's what love is. Yeah. And that's how you love.
Yeah.
And so, for me, being a younger sibling, I didn't experience, like, I was protective of my big sister in some ways. Yeah. But I would not really think to hold her back, to keep her out of certain situations. Like, I would be upset if someone messed with her or said something about her, but I wouldn't try to keep her out of situations for her own safety unless it was like something I would keep anyone out of,
right,
you know?
Right.
Yeah. So it's really different. And it's interesting. I feel like we two are also learning about each other and learning about our associations with different ways of being, especially because I just really don't understand Vi in a lot of ways. And then when I talk to you about it, I'm like, I had no idea. And I'll ask you, what's that face she's making? What's that? And you're like, oh, that's this. Oh, that's because of these reasons. And I just can't point down or pinpoint a lot of her motivation.
Mm-hmm.
A lot in Arcane in general is unspoken.
Yeah.
It's a lot of... Yeah, it's visual and experiential.
Yeah.
Rather than them telling you and putting it right in front of your face.
Right.
So it leaves room to guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons it's so fun to talk about it.
Yeah.
And share what we think things mean. But clearly, I need to ask you what you think everything Vi says and does means. Because I don't have such a handle on it. But I adore Vi. She's real precious.
Mm-hmm.
Even though sometimes she gets on my nerves. Yeah. I'm like, I want to smack her. Just to be honest, I don't really smack people, but I talk like that. I say I want to smack them.
Yeah, she just talks about it. She doesn't actually do it.
Yeah, and I'll be like this.
Yeah,
like this.
that.
But I'm not going around smacking people. Don't worry. Anyway, hopefully if there are others of you who had no idea what was going on with Vi, hopefully KB over here has cleared some things up for you. Let us know if you were able to tell, if you even knew that Vi was ditching Caitlyn, or like me, you were just completely out of the loop. And if you understood her motives of why she broke up with Caitlyn, or you were just like upset with her about it like I was.
Yeah, you were pretty upset after that. I think we're gonna take a break after that.
I think we both were like, no! Every time we see that scene, we both are like, no! I don't know when we're gonna get around to reacting to that.
Yeah.
To just that scene, because both of us, like, every time we see it,
it's so much emotion.
It hits us right in the heart.
Yeah, it really does.
And it makes us want to cry.
Yeah, it's pretty emotional still. Watch it so many times, you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, we're like, no! But anyway, leave us comments and let us know what you think about these two ditching moments. And let us know also if there's anything else you want to see our thoughts on. Sending you all so much love. Until next time.
Laters!